girls tend to fall out of friendship groups more than guys. Like you can have man them that's been boys from days or like the friendship groups nearly changed. They can all be having like different lanes in life, right? They can all be doing their own thing. Huh?
My ass is gonna spin you, bro.
Go on.
Girls are too real.
What do you mean?
Girls are too real, bro. Girls will keep it a buck. Girls will come to you and be like, listen, if girl to girl, they'll be like, listen, I don't want to fuck with you anymore. You're fake. I don't want to fuck with you no more. I didn't like this. I didn't like this that you did, so I'm not fucking with you. I didn't like the fact that you did this. That's why they have so many arguments. They're too real. They keep it too much. They keep it too much of a buck. You've gone and spoke to my man after I spoke to him. I don't like that. It's work. Man, them ain't saying nothing. Man, them will be boys with a nigga for 15 years, 17 years, 20 years, 25 years. They didn't like what my man said to man 2-3 years ago. Man, still holding on to it. They didn't like the fact that my man did this to me or did that to my homeboy or my cousin. Still holding on to it. They're still boys though. They play FIFA with each other all the time. They'll never speak about it. But my man, one of the niggas, man, bro A is thinking about this, bro, and he will never forget it. Bro B knows it happened and is aware, but hopes that my man's already over it and thinks he is. That's why certain men will stay in a relationship, stay as boys for years, bro. Man, I'm too fake, fam.
I think that's like I've heard what you said. You've been saying. I think there is an element of truth, depending on where you look. But yeah, some of them, I don't agree. Because, so for example, with the man them hating on each other, that definitely happens. It's true, definitely happens. But this is me just generically speaking. This is my theory. Yeah. For example, as men, generally speaking, we're meant to be like the go-getters. You get, and not. There's gonna be a time in your life you're gonna realize I can't be number one everywhere. Like it's just
Facts.
You get you either go into a room where you can be number one, or accept that in this room you'll be number one, and then just accept your position.
Facts.
You get me? So it's up to you really where you want to finish. But at some point in time, there's always going to be someone who's richer than you, someone who's stronger than you, better looking, quicker, fitter, whatever. You get me? So you can't always be number one. Once you accept that, you start to not let things get to you. So I'm not going to let my boy's success get to me.
Exactly.
As long as I'm good and I'm able to, you get me, look
secure in your thing.
My thing is, I think for guys, that whole hating and moving funny with each other comes when I'm unstable in my own self. That's when it comes. So for example, you're doing well in life, I'm not doing as good. Instead of me focusing on my own lane and making sure I can get better, I'm gonna start hating on you.
Facts.
It's not just because like it won't come out of anywhere. It comes out of my own insecurity that I'm not stable where I am.
Exactly.
Do you get me? So it's tough. It's tough because what you said, there's a lot of truth in it, but I think, so guy, like, so for example,
What do you disagree with what I said?
When you said, for example, there'll be a guy that, or there could be guys that they're chilling with the random and they're still holding on to something inside. What if the reason they haven't spoken about it is because, or one of them ain't brought up, is because it doesn't bother him?
No, but the fact that there's something there, it does. There can't be something that happens that you haven't spoken about or addressed that doesn't bother you because it's there.
You don't have to speak about it for it to not bother you.
No, but things, let me be clear, things can happen in just friendships, relationships, whatever. And if you lot are cool with that, then that's gone to the side. I'm talking about specifically, something's happened that's bothered my man and he hasn't spoken about it. And he won't speak about it. That's the point.
You don't have to.
No, but it's bothering him though.
Oh yeah, if it's bothering him, he might have to speak to you about it, like the person that caused it.
But he has to address it though. With the other person has to hear man's side of this. Like there has to be a communication between the two people for it to be resolved. They can't be, my man has no clue, but my man's still holding on to this. That's not a healthy relationship. That's not good communication.
It's techie still. I agree with that. I think it's techie. Because I feel that guys keep it more real with guys than girls keep it more with girls. That's what I feel. That's why, because the whole falling out thing, you hear about girls falling out over the dumbest of reasons.
Facts.
You won't necessarily say that's keeping it real, just because you didn't just because you said you didn't like the way a girl was moving. So I'm gonna stop effing with you this way. What if you looked at the situation and said, you know what, you're actually just acting immature?
But then that's context though. So
no, but
in
you
the
add
grand
context
scheme,
as well. That's what I'm saying. That it depends how you're
where
looking.
did I add context?
That you said girls keep it real with each other. That's why they fall out a lot. So for example, then
Yeah.
you get when to give the context. So for example, a girl could do something that she doesn't mess with. She's gonna come to that girl and say, I don't like the way you're moving.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with you.
But
This is why.
because that's an example of how real they will be with each other.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's still context. But it could also be an example of that doesn't necessarily mean she's being real. She just might be immature.
Of course, but then there's might be's and could be's.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
In terms of
depends how you look at it.
in terms of a situation, wherever it may be, even if it's like if we've given both the same situation, what a guy would do, what a girl would do, 9 times out of 10, a guy would be like, all right, cool, my man's done this. Bet.
What about? Hear me out on this one. Guys can scrap, as in fight, as a way of resolving a situation.
Yeah.
And after they scrapped, because they just needed to release whatever they were feeling, they can squash it and be cool.
Facts.
Whereas girls, I highly doubt, unless it's a professional sport, 2 girls can have a fight and then be cool afterwards.
Facts.
More time, if a girl or 2 girls fight, they're most likely never going to speak to each other again.
Facts.
That's just something that was a theory I just discovered in my mind.
That's facts. I do feel like girls are way more honest with their partner, with their peers, than guys are. Simply because there's so many different things that the male peers judge their male peers on. There's way too many. Girls, just about, if anything, don't even judge other girls on fucking other niggas. Some girls will be friends with a hoe. No disrespect. With a hoe. But like, that's just my girl though.
But
like,
some girls,
you know what I'm saying?
Some girls will start, for example, hating on a girl because she's getting bare guys.
Yeah, bare man.
But she'll be like, yeah, because she's moving like a hoe. She might not, but that's what they tell themselves to believe to justify why they don't F with them no more. So it's weird. It's context. Like, it's weird.
But in what situation would that be the same for a guy? So, guy bangs bare things. That's cool, right? Guy gets no things.
That's also cool.
But is that in the grand scheme of things, in terms of, okay, cool, in social environments, if we're adding context, a social environment of, cool, group of guys go out on holiday. All of them are single. There's 5 man. 4 man, out there getting bare things. 1 brother, bro, man's struggling. But we'll go without this nigga, fam.
But that friendship of 5 can survive that holiday better than the girl. That same friendship for girls can. Facts. So imagine there's 5 brothers that go out, yeah. 4 of them can bear things. 1 of them ain't, because could be for whatever reason.
One of them's broke.
Yeah, that's calm. If 1 of them's broke, that
Man, they ain't fucking with no broke niggas, bro.
it depends on the level of friendship. Because I know guys, you probably know guys as well, that they'll go out with niggas and they're paying for mandem.
Facts.
I'm not that type of guy to pay for, So I can't speak for that, but you probably know guys that will do that.
I ain't never been around them niggas though.
No, but I'm just saying you just know. You get me?
Of course. I feel like, but in terms of the same scenario. 5 men go out. Every single week, this nigga ain't got no peace. We're not fucking with this nigga right now. But are we gonna tell him it's because of the peas and he needs to pattern up his bread? But man, them ain't doing that.
That's the thing about that, is they'll get to a certain point where you would realize that yourself. If there's no peas, how can you come out with us?
Exactly.
But
do you hear what you just said?
No, but then from that's gonna lead to the guy having two choices. You have a change your group of friends, or you get your peas up.
Do you see what man just said?
But that wouldn't cause a fallout between the man them.
But what I'm saying is, gal are too real. Gal will be like, yo, you need to get your peas up. Every single week we're doing this for you. She's getting long. Man, them ain't saying that to niggas. Man, listen, bro, and you know this is a fact. You go out with the same nigga, fam. 3 weeks in a row. First 2 weeks, you get out, cool, I'll get him a couple drinks or whatever. The third week, you're holding it.
Man's not holding. Yeah,
you're holding it. You're not gonna say to man, bro, listen, bro, you need to pattern up your piece. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You're not saying that to him in the car with bare man. We're chilling. We're driving.
Do you know why you wouldn't?
That's not running, bro.
No, but do you know why you wouldn't say that though? Because you know, as a guy, there's certain things that if you say in the context or in the environment of a man, them it was gonna get taken the wrong way. But he might feel it was a violation. Even though it's true.
Yeah, niggas don't. Because niggas ain't knowing their niggas like that.
But the thing is, man, them know how to move in those situations, right? So, for example, if we keep going out and you're coming up with no peas, I'm not gonna pay for you, bruv.
100.
So now you're out. Do you want to sit at the bar or at the table with no like? And the thing is, but like this happens, bruv. This happens where you go out. There's gonna be one guy. He ain't got the funds, but he wants to be around. Cool, you can be around. If you're happy with just chilling there as part of the furniture, you ain't touching this bottle because you ain't putting no ins on it. You shouldn't really be on this table because you didn't put no ins on it, but you're here. If you're happy to keep doing that over and over again, because deeper, as a guy, you're thinking of two things. You're thinking of one, how you're perceived. So when you go out, you think, right, they got that leech that's always around them. But you'd only feel a type of way if it's now starting to affect you directly. So for example, getting a cab back, man has to pay for this guy. Getting a drink, you have to pay for this guy. If a guy can learn, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to get involved with this guy, as in like I'm not going to financially support him. Now you like, all right, cool. If he comes or not, that's his business.
There you go.
I'm going to still enjoy my night. But
there you go.
No, but for a girl, one girl can ruin every single girl's night. With the same situation, yeah, that girl that has no peace, she's ruining the rest of her friend's night.
No, we're talking about the situation and how both camps will deal with it.
Yeah, the broke girl that's out with her friends that got peas, that broke girl is going to ruin everyone's night.
In what way?
So there's so many ways that can happen, and this is I don't
want to go away from what we're talking about.
No,
because what we're talking about is how both camps will deal with it. And what I'm saying is that a guy, for example, yourself, if another guy rolls with you on a night out 3 weeks in a row, the first 2 weeks, you've gone, you know what, fuck it. Here's a couple of drinks. You've gone and done that.
That's then, hypothetical.
Exactly. Yes, it's a hypothetical situation.
Me personally,
we're putting both of them in there.
I'll probably give you one drink.
We're going to the girl side of things. Girl does it, okay? The girl's saying to you on the third week, yo, where the money at? Like, what's going on here? Last 2 weeks, we've had to sponsor you. What's popping? Is everything okay financially?
That's going to cause an issue between them.
But that is what the girl's going to do. And that is what I think as man them, because yes, like you said, that might cause an issue between them. Fairs. There's a guy that shouldn't cause an issue between man them. At no point.
Shouldn't.
At any point, it shouldn't. And that's what man them should do. Man them should be honest. Because man them will go to the next guy that's not my man and be like, yo, man ain't got no peace from last week. Niggas do that. Niggas be fake, bro. And compared to the gal them, man them need to be more honest with their niggas. Fam.
The reason why I understand what you're saying and I agree as well, but the reason why there's a counter argument is because a guy's got more ego than a girl.
Problem.
But that ego will prevent him from being in a situation that he can't support himself in.
That's not a counter argument. You just agreed with, man.
I've disagreed.
You've just agreed with, man.
No, but we're talking about, cool, how do you prevent that situation? No, how do you deal with that situation? Cool. Dealing with that situation for a group of mandem, the guy that's broke is going to firm it for the night. He has to. What's he going to do, bro? Start an argument, bro. That's going to make him look even worse.
It shouldn't be an argument.
No, it shouldn't and it wouldn't. But because he can't. Like, what leg do you have to stand on?
Exactly. Therefore, there should be a conversation between niggas, man. Between men.
I don't think that a conversation needs to be had.
Excuse me?
Some things that's so obvious, conversations don't need to be had.
This is what I'm talking about with niggas. You got to be real and honest. If you feel something, bro, you feel something in your chest, and the feeling is this guy's broke and he needs to pattern up his P's.
But that's not my business. That's not affecting
it's affecting you because you keep paying for this.
No, but that's if you're paying for him.
No, but bro,
if you're
how
not,
are you getting to the venue in the first place?
How's you getting me? I'm sorting out my own travel there.
Bro.
What do you think this is?
Bro, I think.
So you're telling me, wait.
Well, I've given you two scenarios. So
you're telling me, you're chilling with a group of mandem, yeah. One of the mandem in there ain't got the funds. You're gonna keep supporting him.
No, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not been my point. My point is a scenario that has been created. The scenario is...
Yeah, but the scenario has to be realistic for me.
It's a scenario in general, bro. There's about 100 people listening to this. It's a scenario in general where there's 5 man. You've all gotten ready and gone to a motive. One of the 5 man, his funds are low. He said to the man, get me, pat a man for the night, whatever, he's a lot right now. You've gone, cool, bro, you're my dog, whatever, you've known it for 12.50. You get me, that's your homeboy. You've then patted him up. It's £12.50 to get in. It's fucking £10 for a drink. It's a minor. You've done that, night out, night was good. You've gone home. Next weekend, same pattern. He said the same thing.
But this is where I'm going to stop you.
But bro, it's a scenario I'm giving you. You can't stop the scenario.
No, but
it's a scenario.
You can't put man, like... All right, so you're telling me what would I do? Here? So you're telling me what would I do in that scenario?
What I'm saying to you is, this is the scenario that will happen. And man them have been in this situation multiple times. In this situation, man them will go to each other and be paddy, be like, yo, homeboy's broke. Man ain't got no peas. Man ain't funding this nigga no more. He's on his own. You get me? I'm going to keep it. But man, I'm like, cool, say less. That's what we're all on. Cool. Girls would be like, babes, last week this happened. The week before this happened. This can't run no more. I'm just letting you know you need to get your money. That's what girls are doing, as opposed to the contrast from what guys are doing. This is what's going on out there.
This is what may be going on out here, and I'm not disputing that. But the problem with the scenario is, like, you put up that scenario that probably happens.
It does happen.
That's what I said, that probably happens.
But it does, bro. I don't want to have a petty argument about this. It does happen.
You're arguing.
No, but it does happen, though.
Okay, it happens.
Continue.
You're putting a scenario that sometimes happens. Other scenarios that happen as well, they also happen. The problem with this scenario is, and this is what I don't think is going to be an issue for the mandem, is because before that time, there's going to be an intervention before that situation repeats itself.
Go on.
When girls go out, there's so many factors that come into play for girls when they go out. They can meet guys that then start paying for them and doing stuff. So there's certain situations that you wouldn't notice until it arises, right? So for example, girls go out every week, they're getting their cabs paid for, they're getting the transport back home paid for. And I've experienced this. I've seen girls that do this.
It's norms.
They get guys buying drinks. So you wouldn't even clock that this girl ain't got no money.
Facts.
You get it? So up until she's now becoming dependent on someone else who's in the same friendship group,
facts,
that's going to cause an argument. Because one, the girl's going to, like, it will cause an argument for girls because that's not what they're here for. Do you get me? They're not here to support you. So they're gonna either, like, the next time they go out, they probably won't shout the girl. Now the girl thinks they're moving snaky, but there's a whole reason behind it. That's why I don't think they're going to address it. It's rare that I think a girl's going to address that specific situation. They'll just change the way they move.
Yeah.
But for the guy situation, I'm not saying your scenario is wrong. This is another scenario that happens. This is the one I'm more familiar with. And this is the reason I said, because you've put a scenario, but you haven't put me in that scenario.
Yeah. Because it was a general scenario.
Yeah.
So it was just in general in terms of, for example, It could have been anything. If a guy cooks for another nigga or something like that, or man that makes food, man brings it, man ain't gonna say this food's dead. Man, I'm just gonna cry.
That's why I said. That's why I said. That's why I said it probably happens, but for me, I can't see that happening in my vicinity.
And that's cool.
I go out with a man. First night, yo, man, them funds are low. Cool. I might say, you know what? I'll buy you a couple drinks, whatever. Second time it happens, he says, man, them fun. Before he even says my funds are low, as we're going, I was like, yo, you patterned, you straight. I'm not even trying to pay for. That's just me. I'm not going to be supporting you. And the thing is, as a guy, sometimes I have to put myself in that situation as well. What would I do if I have my P's are low and I'm going out? The first week, the man them supported me. Second week, do I feel fine getting supported by man them every time we go out?
Facts.
No, I don't. So that's what I'm saying. As a guy, your ego will kick in and something needs to change. You either need to get your P's up or you stop going out with the man them. But for the girls, they'll change the way they start behaving. Whether their reasons are warranted or not, they'll change the way they start behaving. Man them's not like, bruv, man them ain't gonna create a new group chat to leave a guy out. They may do, but generally
girls will definitely do
they
that.
wouldn't. Girls would do that. And then that's where the arguments will start coming from, because one girl thinks this girl's moving snaky. This girl's like, yeah, but every time we go out, we can't keep paying for you. And then now they want to have the discussion, but they're having the discussion a bit too late. You get it? Whereas guys, cool, we're going now and we're not inviting you. There's a reason. What's the reason? Last time we went out, had to pay for you. This time we're going out, I have to pay for you. Can't keep running like that.
Facts.
And the man in question, more time who take it on the chin. You either stop coming out with the man them or wait till he gets peas and come out. Because as a guy, that's what I'm saying, you can't go out and be supported every time. 100. But girls is fine because one, you're a girl. And two, you go out, things just happen for you. That's what I'm saying.
Good. But the main premise of my point, that's why it was so general, innit? But is the fact that girls will come up and say things straight to the face, knowing that it could be an argument, it could be beef, but it has to be said though. Do you get me? Just in any situation. Whereas guys, it will be like, no, he'll understand later, or he should see it now, or at some point he's gonna get it, and all that other stuff. So those are where the lines are blurred.
But in terms of judging each other, you still think guys judge guys more than girls judge girls?
Facts.
I think it's opposite. I think girls judge girls more. And it's down to so many different factors.
I feel like for me, being someone that being on the receiving end of a lot of hate from males is, and it's like when I see it, I'm like, rah. And it motivates me, because at the end of the day, when you're in a situation where you make other niggas uncomfortable with your presence, or just the sheer sound of your name, or just them seeing you, you're in a powerful position. I can make niggas do shit without talking.
Like what?
Weird shit. Niggas start moving weird. I ain't do nothing. I ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're being on, like I said, the receiving end and speaking to a lot of females, and like I said, the way they treat each other, they're more supportive of their friends. Way more, based on my experience.
It's fair. I think we've both had different experiences. That's why we're both coming from different angles. I haven't gone through what you've gone through in terms of man them moving funny around me. But more time, I don't even think I get close to man them like that for me to even realize if you're moving funny around me. I'm so tunnel visioned, unless you're on my inner circle. And I realized that then, without a shadow of doubt, we're going to have a conversation about it because you're in my inner circle. Yeah. But if you're just one of the niggas, man hardly speaks to you anyways, fam. So you can't move funny around me. You probably don't know what I done last week.